Thanks to Sports Channel here, or on Subscribestar. Thanks to Ireland and War Goose and everyone else who's recently supported. You guys are the real heroes. So celebrities say they're quitting Twitter as Musk takes over. I'm out of here, some of them say. Well, plot twist. I don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, these are the same people who obviously have said this in 2016 for Trump. And they say, I mean, pay me some attention. Here's the attention you ordered. Grade B and grade C celebrity. So they're beginning to quit Twitter, or claim they are, which is the real issue. I'm moving to Canada. Oh, how come you're not moving to Mexico? I prefer the cold weather. So here's the thing that sucks about the increasing diversity in America is that America is not on the same page like it was even 20, 30, 40 years ago. And that sucks. I mean, that's a real L because like a country turned from a nation where people were on the same page mostly to this like microclimate commercial zone that's not really run. It's run by, bankers and big tech, is the other video I did pointed out, where people are not on the same page, and celebrityhood is so diffuse now. But it's also like it's not good when a country is not on the same page, because values and identity starts to diverge so wildly to the point of people going, oh yeah, there's no point in like trying to make, like, digitally we're so separated, ideologically we're so separated, we might as well do it geographically too, which is that's definitely on the horizon. You have people who are so divergent from each other. They have schisms on fundamental issues that there is no meeting in the middle on some of the topics that are going on now, where you better like, yeah, why don't we just split up different areas of the country, return to a 50-state model. But anyway, for this point, I mean, the point is like you have celebrities like people have never heard of. And I know the concept of celebrityhood is not important, except it is, because politics being downstream from culture. Like you have somebody with 2 million followers, Chandra Rhimes. Obviously, I've never heard of her. I've heard of Grey's Anatomy. It's some sort of TV show or something. Never seen it. Don't know anything about it. It's just some kind of pop culture. It's like, it's not important. I'm sure it's cancer, but it's that these people have 2 million followers. Probably left of the bell curve followers. They're able to influence people politically by issuing some tweet. And it's like the people. Who Hollywood made the Kardashians famous, and when that happened like 20 years ago, I looked at that and thought, oh, this does not bode well for our republic. And the funny thing is, like, they keep saying democracy, democracy, democracy. It's like, did you mean republic? No, they meant democracy. It's a hive mind. The left is a hive mind. But I mean, the point is, like, if you have people who are believing the things they do, it's better to say, why don't we just split the country into several little different regions? Or if you guys want to have your, vibrant, enriched democracy, whatnot, I suspect it will turn into a hellhole quickly, and we will have a ordered, constitutional, representative republic. I mean, so you've got singers who are tweeting to 3 million followers that they're leaving Twitter. Like, I don't know if they're leaving for good. Probably not, because they're not leaving social media for good. They go, oh, I'm leaving Twitter to go to Instagram. Okay, it's the same thing. It's like you're going to spend your time there instead of Twitter. It doesn't matter. You're going to a protected place where you're in your echo safe space type of thing. And to be fair, like a executive producer for a TV show, I guess 30 years ago, 40 years ago, nobody would have. People knew, like, Lucas and Spielberg. You knew the big names of the people who were producing and directing the top shows. But like a TV show producer, you didn't know who the producer was. You just didn't care unless you were really deep into Hollywood. But now, because of social media, they have a following. Like all these, and the fact that like they have a following and they have any influence whatsoever, like, oh, that's a left of the bell curve population. That celebrities like Hollywood made itself a celebrity. Like what they did to the Kardashians is they created something out of nothing. It's kind of what they're doing with the recent surgical stuff. They created an industry out of nothing, which is terrifying. I mean, there's no political solution to any kind of stuff. This is all deck chairs on the Titanic, which I know is a lot of kind of darker themes for a social pop culture channel on YouTube. Got to get that $3 a day. Not quite. Almost got to $3 a day this month, which is amazing. But the white pill is tech, is $100 Kindle and a cell phone, and like to be able to disseminate a counter narrative to even 100 people, but they can disseminate a counter narrative to. I mean, there's tens of thousands of small channels like this with like 1,000 followers who make videos that get 100 views, but then it spreads out. It's like that massively multi-parallel network is critically important, especially on alt media. because we diffuse these ideas out throughout the alt media, and then it makes its way to the mainstream media. And now with Twitter, it's like, I don't know what Twitter's going to do with itself. I really don't think it's going to turn into Gab, because it's just, there's too much money involved. It's going to have freer speech, but that's about it.
So anyway, you've got like three celebrities, I guess. I mean, you have between 300,000 and 3 million followers. Yeah, I guess you're a celebrity. I guess, or I mean, somebody's like Alex Winter. Nobody cares about Alex Winter. But like a billions show. I mean, the thing is, there's so many streaming shows now. Like, celebrityhood is not what it used to be, even if it can be still very, very lucrative for people. But in terms, it's not what it used to be even 20 years ago when, like, I remember I had a buddy who was really into Hollywood, and like Brad Pitt and the various women he was married to or dating, or whatever. Like, that was people knew more about that, and it's like, no, it's not important, except to the point that they can influence people politically is important. Where nowadays there's too many celebrities. Like, if you have a Kardashian, then it's kind of the end of celebrityhood, because you can create something out of nothing. And you'd have to look at the people who were pulling the strings. Was that E Entertainment, whoever was owning E? God, there's so much to go into on that, but you're not going to do it. I mean, the ability to socially engineer things, which is kind of like, you look at the people who talk about fascism, or I know there's a big straw man version of it, but the idea of like commercial entities shouldn't be so powerful that they can socially engineer a nation like this, because politics being so downstream from culture. That's just what it must be fashionable to say. It's just that, to remove power from corporate America to have free speech. Yeah, that's what those are the guys. The Nazis wanted free speech. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, sign me up for that team. It's like, do they even hear themselves? No, they don't. It's like nothing they say has to make sense, because they have an echo chamber where you're going, yeah, the people who want free speech are the bad guys. How are they? I mean, you're just telling me that they're the good guys, and you're so warped and twisted that everyone who like, if your ideas can't withstand the open marketplace of ideas, if you can't stand a cross-examination and a rebuttal, and you don't welcome it, then your ideas are probably pretty bad and they can't be defended. People who have good ideas want them heard. They want to do interviews. They want to talk to other people, and it seems like this is a left-wing problem where you go, hey, you guys don't want to. There's platforms on Odyssey who do live streaming stuff, right? And they go, I go, how come you don't or even on YouTube still, they go, how come you don't interview left-wing people? And they go, we asked them to, and they're afraid to come on and do the interviews. So the only people we end up interviewing are moderates and right-wing people, because they're the only people who are free to talk. And the left-wing people, they're scared to do the interviews. They schedule the interviews, and then they pull out the last minute, and behind the scenes they're going like, yeah, so it looks out like, yeah, so they're just not doing the interviews, because their own side will attack them for doing interviews on, Tim Pool or Joe Rogan or something like that, who are, very middle of the bell curve. Like, if you think those guys are far right, there's so much. I mean, you're just kidding yourself at that point. Or even if you think Trump is far right. So it turns out that more people who are going to be interviewed are going to be the freest people, are going to be libertarians or conservatives, or the far right, because they can talk to anyone, including, which is funny, it's like, if you go far right enough and far left enough, they can actually talk to each other, but they can't talk to each other on Google. It's got to be on Odyssey and Shing and all these other kind of live streaming platforms. I don't know where I was going with that. The fact that 3 celebrities or 4 celebrities say that they're going to leave for a little while, they're going to go to Tribal, which is no, you're not going anywhere. If you go anywhere, if you're a celebrity and you leave these social media platforms, you're going to disappear. And the fact that you're so terrified of Twitter having a little bit of freer place, where all of a sudden everyone on the right, when Twitter announces these rules, they change the algorithm, every right winger, their account blows up. And left-winger, when they start removing the bots from Hillary Clinton accounts and all these other New York Times accounts, all of a sudden they, like, I think Hogg goes on there and goes, yeah, I lost 50,000 followers. Yeah, those were bots. Those are Soros bots. All the left-wing sites are just disappearing. The right-wing sites are blowing up. Yeah, because Twitter was deleting those bots or cleaning them up. It's like, so why did they allow them to flourish for so long? To give you this artificial sense that the left-wing position was stronger than it is. If you have to deplatform and censor people, your argument is so weak and pathetic. The right wing openly welcomes discussion, and the left wing doesn't. I look at them and goes, "Oh, then I mean, the truth doesn't fear investigation. If you guys don't want to we don't platform Yahtzees." Well, you never even got to the point of proving that because you're pre-censoring people for thought crime. It's like, again, it's like one person who's censoring thought for other people. Nazi said what? Yeah, the Nazi wants free speech. I mean, you guys even hear yourself. I mean, at what point do you awaken to this? And some people do leave the left, probably more and more as the time goes on, to realize, yeah, that's weird that like one side wants to talk and the other side doesn't. I mean, that makes them the authoritarians. So no, these people are not gonna leave Twitter. And we're gonna stay and fight. I had to come back because my voice is so important to this fight. Oh, the next thing is the $240 for a blue check mark. Stephen King's that they should pay you. You're gone like anyone. Well, they are going to institute it in a few months, and you're not going anywhere. Let's keep it 100. You're not going anywhere. Everyone is going to pay for that blue check mark. That's going to be a cash cow. People love to pay for meaningless status symbols. People pay for that stuff all the time. $240 for these are people who have to pay to maintain the blue check mark, and then for anyone else who wants one. Oh, absolutely, people pay for that all the time. It's like it gives you, like on Gab, it's $100 a year, and it gives you different abilities to do things with your posts that Twitter should have had 10 years ago, but they didn't have to because they were the big dog on the block, and now there's like Truth and Getter and Parler, but those all have to go through the Google and Apple app stores, so they're pointless. Gab's the only one that doesn't go through any app store, so it's the only free political speech site on social media. Nobody talks about it because they're scared of free political speech. And so no, your government and the celebrities and anyone who's got a position, none of these people, globalists, none of them want free speech. Your government is terrified by free speech. They don't want to hear from you. They don't. Isn't that like in the First Amendment, one of the 5 articles, press, assembly, speech, religion, and redress of grievance? Oh yeah, those are the 5 subclauses of the First Amendment. I'm glad I remember that. I have the Constitution sitting up here. They don't want to hear from you. They don't want redress of grievance. Was it Chemo? Whoever said that assembly had to be peaceful? As the guy eats a top ramen and goes, "Oh, it's in the First Amendment, peaceful assembly." Okay, you got me there. You got me there. Peaceful assembly. Good point. But we're fighting fascists. You're fighting people you claim are fascists. I don't think they are fascists. I think you've created fascists, which is probably the goal all along. Maybe it's the Hegelian dialectic. I think they have created what they wanted to create. Like, I don't think this is inadvertent. I think this is planned. I think. Or maybe they've created a better straw man version of something that a windmill for them to tilt against. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much to Ireland and Wargoose and everyone else who supported on Subscribestar and Cash App. And I know you're listening to this on YouTube. You're like, why are people supporting you on YouTube? You're just a really mediocre pop culture channel. Yeah, I don't think they're supporting for YouTube. They're supporting for Odyssey and Bit Chute and the other platforms. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next episode.